His focus is to do his job for the football team, just like it is for everybody, and he knows that. And he's again handled the week really, really well. Obviously, tomorrow, the rest of today, tomorrow, about finishing touches when it comes to the game plan and really locking in and talking about owning all those details. But that's where his focus is. Shedeur is just like all of our guys in that he has a job to do. He wants to be there for his teammates and do his job.
We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur, just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call, but that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
Something's not right in Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski just stood at that podium in Berea talking about how Shedeur Sanders, quote, handled the week really, really well, and how he's just like all of our guys. But behind those calm words, there's chaos brewing. Sources say Jimmy Haslam cornered Stefanski after practice this week, and it got heated. The owner wants answers. Why are we starting a rookie against the 49ers? Why are we gambling the season on a kid making his first NFL start at Huntington Bank Field? This isn't just another press conference, folks. This is damage control. Because what they're not telling you about Shedeur's debut against San Francisco could determine if Stefanski even keeps his job.
I think reps, a lot of reps, that helps. That's one of those things, especially a quarterback and running back. You're always together in the backfield, so the better and the more reps you get, the better you get. Shedeur is very talented. He processes things fast, he learns fast, so nothing was an issue for him to just go out there, just execute and be the leader that he is. So excited for him.
This rookie class has been impressive, led by second-round pick Carson Schlesinger.
It's interesting because from day one,
Cleveland Browns coach Kevin Stefanski still won't name Shedeur Sanders as the Week 13 starter. Yep, even after Shedeur became the first Browns QB since 1995 to win his debut and injected real energy into the offense, Stefanski refused to commit to him over Dillon Gabriel. It looks like Stefanski is waiting to see whether Gabriel can get healthy in time for next week. So who do you want to see start for the Browns?
Let me tell you what's really going down in Cleveland right now, because the official story and the real story are miles apart. On paper, everything looks fine. The Browns are preparing for the 49ers at home on November 30th. Dillon Gabriel's in concussion protocol, so Shedeur Sanders gets the nod for his first career start. Coach says all the right things. His focus is to do his job for the football team just like it is for everybody, and he knows that, and he's handled the week really, really well. Sounds good, right? Wrong. Because here's what they're not telling you. Behind closed doors at that cross-country mortgage campus facility in Berea, there's serious tension between ownership and the coaching staff. And it all centers around one massive question. Is Shedeur Sanders actually ready to face the San Francisco 49ers in what could be the most important game of Cleveland's season? Think about what we're dealing with here. The Browns are 2-8. They're drowning. They need wins desperately. And now they're about to start a rookie quarterback who had 1 week of first-team reps against a 49ers team that's 6-4 and fighting for playoff position. The 49ers have Bosa. They have Warner. They have a defense that eats rookie quarterbacks alive. The running backs are out here trying to sell it. You hear them saying things like, reps help, and Shedeur is very talented, processes things fast, he learns fast. That's textbook PR talk. That's what you say when the cameras are on. But when those cameras turn off, whole different conversation.
So excited for him.
This rookie class has been impressive, led by second-round pick Carson Schlesinger.
It's interesting because from day one, he's been making plays on the practice field, and that's. Sometimes it's not that hard. You just kind of watch what's happening on the field. And when a linebacker in off-season program is showing up, that typically means this guy's a pretty good player because it's hard. There's no tackling. There's no run.
Multiple people inside that facility, and I'm talking staff members who are there every single day, say Jimmy Haslam has been asking pointed questions all week. Why now? Why against San Francisco? What's the backup plan when this kid gets overwhelmed? And here's where it gets spicy. Stefanski is reportedly all in on Shedeur, like completely, 100% sold. He's telling Haslam, this kid is different. This kid is ready. Trust me on this. But Haslam, he's not buying it. Not completely. And that's creating major friction. You got to understand where Haslam's coming from. This is a man who's watched his franchise go through quarterback after quarterback. He's seen Baker Mayfield fail. He's dealt with the Deshaun Watson disaster. He's burned millions of dollars on QB busts. And now his head coach wants him to believe that a rookie with 7 days of prep is the answer against a legitimate playoff contender. That's a massive ask. The press conference on Friday gave us clues if you know where to look. Stefanski keeps emphasizing how well Shedeur's handled the preparation. Obviously, tomorrow, the rest of today, tomorrow about finishing touches when it comes to the game plan and really locking in and talking about owning all those details. But that's where his focus is. Finishing touches? Locking in? Owning details? That's coach speak for we're cramming everything we can into this kid's head and hoping it sticks. And don't get me wrong, everyone around the team says Shedeur's been impressive in practice. The way he commands the huddle, the way he processes information. The rookie class has been legitimately good this year, led by Carson Schwinger, who's making a serious Defensive Rookie of the Year push.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, just coming in together. It's kind of like, I always say this, but it's kind of like when we come into college from high school, kind of, that's our little class, we all, I live right next to Carson, so we're always talking, hanging out. So just kind of see him, good to see him, keep getting better and better, and hopefully he gets that. I don't think there's anyone else in the race right now for the Rookie of the Year, so, I'd say it's him.
Shedeur even lives next door to Schwinger. They're tight. The rookie class is rallying around each other, and that chemistry matters. Quinshon Judkins, the running back who's been grinding all season with 620 yards and 5 touchdowns, has been working extra time with Shedeur. Quarterback and running back, you're always together in the backfield, so the better and the more reps you get, the better you get. That connection is real. The players believe in Shedeur. The coaches believe in Shedeur. But here's the problem. Belief doesn't always translate to wins. And Jimmy Haslam didn't become a billionaire by making emotional decisions based on belief. He wants facts. He wants guarantees. And nobody can guarantee what happens when Shedeur takes the field against San Francisco. Let's talk about what Shedeur is walking into on November 30th. Huntington Bank Field will be packed. The Browns faithful will show up because they always do, even when the team is 2-8. But the 49ers, they're coming to Cleveland with a 6-4 record, fighting for their playoff lives. Kyle Shanahan's offense is one of the best in the league. Their defense is nasty. Nick Bosa is going to be in Shedeur's face all game. Fred Warner is going to be reading his eyes, jumping routes, making his life hell. The 49ers have seen every rookie quarterback scheme imaginable. They know how to rattle young QBs. They know how to create pressure without blitzing. They know how to confuse with disguised coverages. And Shedeur, he's had 1 week to prepare for all of that as the starter. Now, the coaching staff is doing everything they can to set him up for success. Word is the game plan is built around quick passes, getting the ball out fast, leaning on Judkins in the run game to keep San Francisco's defense honest. That's smart. That's protecting your rookie. But it's also limiting what Shedeur can do.
That's obviously finishing the pressure with taking the quarterback down. But we look at it at that play-to-play basis, what he's doing to affect every single down. And again, the ability to play the run should not be overlooked. There's time to reflect, so now's not necessarily the time to reflect on that. Now, do I marvel at his skill? Yes, and I marvel at it.
And that's apparently what set off the reported argument between Haslam and Stefanski, because Haslam's question was basically, if we have to water down the entire offense to protect him, is he really ready? Or are we just setting ourselves up for failure? That's a damn good question. Stefanski's counter-argument, according to sources, was that they're not watering it down, they're being smart. They're putting Shedeur in position to succeed rather than asking him to be a hero in his first start. And if the kid executes, if he makes the right reads, if he takes care of the football, the Browns have a real shot to win this game at home. But Haslam's not convinced. And you know why? Because he's seen this movie before. He's watched his team build up young quarterbacks only to watch them crumble under pressure. He's tired of hope. He wants results. The injury situation adds another layer of complexity. Dylan Gabriel is still in concussion protocol. He's ruled out. Alex Wright, the defensive end, is out with a quad injury. Jamari Thrash is dealing with a foot injury, also out. The Browns are banged up and undermanned going into a must-win game against a playoff-caliber opponent. But David Njoku will play, and that matters more than people realize. Stefanski said it himself. Obviously, Dave's a big part of who we are, what we do, and so it's good to have him back out there. Good to have his energy back out there. And tight ends for a quarterback are a great sense of security, if you will. For a rookie making his first start, having a veteran like Njoku as a safety valve is huge. When things break down, when Shedeur needs an outlet, Njoku's going to be there. That's the kind of security blanket that can save a young quarterback.
Friday, but expected to play on Sunday. He's a sack and a half away from breaking his own franchise record, which he's set twice at 16 sacks in a single season. With 5 and 4 sacks respectively in games this season, it begs the question, can he challenge Derek Thomas's 7 sacks against Seattle in November of 1990 for the all-time NFL record for sacks in a game with, 7.5?
The Browns also have Myles Garrett, who continues to be an absolute monster on defense. He's a sack and a half away from breaking his own franchise record of 16 sacks in a season. The man is terrorizing offenses week after week, and while everyone focuses on the sack numbers, Stefanski made sure to point out the complete game Garrett plays. The level at which he's playing is impressive, but I do think there's more there. I think, like we've talked about over the years with Myles, pay attention to how he plays the run. Pay attention to the tackles for loss. If Myles can dominate against the 49ers offensive line, if he can pressure Brock Purdy or whoever's under center for San Francisco, that takes some heat off Shedeur. That's the formula. Defense creates turnovers and short fields, Shedeur manages the game, Judkins grinds out tough yards, and maybe, they steal a win at home. But that's a lot of ifs and maybes for an owner who's desperate for certainty. Here's what makes this whole situation even more intense. The schedule doesn't get easier after the 49ers. The Browns still have to face the Ravens again, the Steelers twice, and a bunch of other tough matchups. If Shedeur struggles against San Francisco, the season is essentially over. Done. Finished. And heads will roll. That's why Haslam's so worked up. That's why he reportedly confronted Stefanski. Because this decision to start Shedeur isn't just about one game, it's about the trajectory of the entire franchise. Now, let's flip the script for a second, because while all this drama is swirling around ownership and coaching staff, there's another narrative developing that nobody's paying enough attention to. Shedeur Sanders might actually be ready for this. I know, that sounds crazy given everything we just talked about, but hear me out. This kid has been preparing for moments like this his entire life. He played at Colorado under his father, Deion Sanders. He's dealt with massive pressure, intense media scrutiny, high-stakes games. This isn't some deer-in-the-headlights rookie who's never been in the spotlight.
In that middle linebacker position, you are in the middle of the nerve center, and you're running the show, quote-unquote. So to be able to get that right off the bat, I think is a testament to the young man. I think it's a testament to Coach Tarver, who I think does an amazing job with our young guys and our veterans. And then the physical aspect of this, of just running, hitting, tackling, intercepting the ball, those are all things that we saw from the jump with him, and certainly carried over into this season.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The teammates see it. Listen to how they talk about him. Shedeur is very talented, processes things fast. He learns fast, so nothing was an issue for him to just go out there, just execute and be the leader that he is. So excited for him. That's not just lip service. That's genuine excitement from guys who've been watching him work all week. They've seen him in the film room. They've seen him on the practice field. They've seen how he handles pressure, and they believe in him. Even the coaches who work with other position groups are impressed. When they talk about Carson Schwinger and how immediately it was clear that he had a great handle on the X's and O's of football, the cerebral nature of football, they could be describing Shedeur too. This rookie class has that intellectual approach to the game that modern NFL coaches love. And maybe that's what Stefanski sees that Haslam doesn't. Maybe the coach recognizes something special in Shedeur that the owner, looking at spreadsheets and past failures, can't appreciate. Maybe this really is different. But it's a massive gamble. And Haslam knows it. The reported confrontation between owner and coach apparently ended without full resolution. Haslam didn't overrule Stefanski, Shedeur starting, but he made it clear that if this goes sideways, if the kid gets exposed, if the Browns get embarrassed at home against the 49ers, there will be consequences. That's the real tension here. It's not just about whether Shedeur's ready, it's about trust. It's about whether Haslam trusts Stefanski's judgment anymore. It's about whether this coaching staff has the ability to evaluate talent and make the right decisions. And it all comes down to what happens November 30th at Huntington Bank Field. Here's what we know for sure. Shedeur Sanders will take his first NFL snap against the San Francisco 49ers. He'll have Quinshon Judkins in the backfield with him. He'll have David Njoku as his security blanket. He'll have Myles Garrett and that defense trying to keep the game close. And he'll have the weight of an entire franchise on his shoulders. Because if he succeeds, if he comes out and plays smart, composed football, manages the game, makes the right decisions, leads the Browns to a win at home, then all this drama about Haslam arguing with Stefanski becomes irrelevant. It becomes a non-story. Stefanski looks like a genius for believing in his rookie, Haslam eats crow, and Cleveland has hope again. But if he struggles, if the 49ers defense overwhelms him, if he makes rookie mistakes, if it's clear he wasn't ready, then everything falls apart. The season's over. Stefanski's seat gets scorching hot, and Haslam gets to say, "I told you so," while planning for yet another coaching change. That's what makes this game so fascinating. It's not just about football. It's about organizational dynamics. It's about power struggles. It's about whether a head coach's vision aligns with an owner's patience. And caught in the middle of all of it, a rookie quarterback who just wants to play ball. Now, let me tell you what I think is going to happen. And this is pure speculation based on what we're seeing and hearing. I think Shedeur is going to surprise people. I think he's going to come out and play better than anyone expects. Not perfect, he's a rookie, there will be mistakes, but better than the worst-case scenarios Haslam is worried about. I think the Browns keep it close. I think Judkins has a big game on the ground. I think Myles Garrett makes Brock Purdy uncomfortable. And I think Shedeur makes enough plays to keep Cleveland in the fight. Whether they win? That's a different question. The 49ers are the better team on paper. They're fighting for playoffs. They have more talent. But at home, with a crowd that's desperate for something to cheer about, with a rookie QB who has nothing to lose and everything to prove, strange things can happen. And if the Browns do pull off the upset, if Shedeur leads them to a victory over San Francisco, everything changes. The narrative flips completely. Suddenly, Stefanski's a genius for believing in his rookie. Suddenly, Haslam is the owner who almost derailed the future by doubting him. Suddenly, Cleveland has their quarterback of the future. That's what's on the line November 30th. Not just a win or a loss, not just a rookie's first start, but the entire future direction of the Cleveland Browns franchise. So here's my question for you. Do you think Stefanski's right to gamble on Shedeur against the 49ers? Or is Haslam justified in being furious about starting a rookie with 1 week of prep against a playoff team? Drop your takes in the comments because this is the biggest storyline nobody's talking about. And if you want to see how Shedeur actually performs when he takes the field, you better be subscribed because we're breaking down every single snap of this game the minute it's over. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's see if this rookie can silence the doubters. November 30th, Huntington Bank Field. Shedeur Sanders' first start, it's about to get real.